for the VFW Hall of Fame Award. Kenny Thomas is a former Army Ranger, award-winning country music artist, and a national spokesperson for the Hero Fund. Prior to joining the Army in 1991, Kenny attended the University of Florida. He served as a Ranger in the 75th Ranger Regiment, eventually attaining the rank of Staff Sergeant. He was a member of the Task Force Ranger as a part of Operation Restore Hope in Somalia. A main objective of that task force was to capture the elusive Somali warlord Mohammed Farah Ard-Adid. The most well-known of their combat missions occurred in October 3, 1993, when their task force members was involved in the Battle of Mogadishu, and that was later immortalized in the book and the movie Black Hawk Down, for which he was a consultant. He also served as a consultant for We Were Soldiers. After Somalia, Kenny went on to serve as an assistant team leader on the Ranger Recon teams. His military decorations and achievements include the Bronze Star for Valor and the Combat Infantryman's Badge. Kenny was awarded the Master Parachute Wings with over 400 jumps and successfully completed the Army's Ranger School, Belgian Commando School, Special Forces Combat Divers School, Army's Jump Master Course, Pathfinder School, HALO, High Altitude Low Opening School, Cold Weather Mountaineering School, and Emergency Medical School. Which high-intensive Army schools did you not go to, Kenny? I think all of them. Not many left, I know that. Upon leaving active duty service, he worked as a youth counselor. He also became a speaker, giving motivational presentations to various audiences around the United States. Mr. Thomas soon formed the band Cornbread and began his career in music by performing with the band in and around Columbus, Georgia. After several album releases, they released the album Flags of Our Fathers. Kenny donates some of the proceeds to the Hero Fund, which directs those funds to the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, an organization created to provide college scholarships and financial aid to the children of fallen Special Operations soldiers. Mr. Thomas has performed the national anthem for the New York Yankees several times, including Game 1 of the 2009 World Series, as well as the San Francisco Giants on Memorial Day 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to thank Mr. Kenny Thomas for his tremendous legacy of service to our country by presenting him the VFW 2010 Hall of Fame Award.
Hall of Fame Award, Gold Medal and Citation awarded to Kenny Thomas in heartfelt recognition of his love of country and indomitable American spirit that he demonstrated while serving as a member of the United States Army and as a member of the elite 75th Ranger Regiment. Mr. Kenny Thomas has unfailingly expressed his devotion while dynamically entertaining U.S. service members around the world, and as a youth counselor and as a national spokesman for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. His continued dedication and generous humanitarian work earns him the title of Patriot and serves as an inspiration to us all, thus earning him the utmost respect and sincere admiration of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States, in witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands in the official seal of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States this 23rd day of August, 2010, approved by the National Council of Administration, signed by the Commander-in-Chief Thomas J. Tradewell Sr., the Adjutant General Alan F. Gunner Kent. This award also comes with a $2,500 honorarium.
Well, thanks, y'all. Thank you so much. This is, to tell you it's a privilege, it's an honor. He just took my money from me. Did you see that? To tell you this is a privilege and honor, it's quite an understatement. Honestly, it's bigger than that. for any of us in this room, and that's the good thing about everybody here being veterans, when you make it out of something where others did not, you're going to spend the rest of your life thanking the people who were on our left and on our right, because I know that by the grace of God, the only reason I'm still here today is because of those men that were there when I most needed them to be there. So first of all, let me say thanks to the men of Task Force Ranger, because without you, I wouldn't be here. And then I want to thank my mom, who made the trip all the way from South Florida, and I want to thank my manager, Claire, for getting me here. If I didn't have her, I wouldn't even know what day it is. So I'm very, very thankful for them to be here. Now, I remember after the first battle that we had with Task Force Ranger, our platoon sergeant pulls us aside, and he brings everybody over, and he says, "Hey, men, because I want to tell you guys this. You guys are all combat veterans." And I'm thinking, great, I can qualify for a VA loan, right? But it took me a little bit of time to realize that being a veteran, it's a lot more than just wearing a hat on your head with a lot of great pins and badges. It's a lot more than being qualified for all these programs. Being a veteran, it carries with it a badge of honor. And there's big words that we use called character and respect and noble professions. And that's something that we have to continue to carry on a day-to-day basis as veterans. Because people look at us. They look at you with respect. And they look at you to set an example for others to follow. When the first day that I walked into the Ranger Regiment, there was a sergeant major. His name was Leon Guerrero, and he scared me. He was a scary man. He talked like a samurai warrior. And he had us all lined up, and he says, "Men, because I want to congratulate you all for choosing something that's an honorable and a noble profession." And I'm standing. I was a punk kid out of school. I had no idea what honorable and noble meant. But I do now. I do now. And what he said to us stuck with me for the rest of my life. He says, "Men, many of you are going to go on to long, distinguished careers in the military." He says, "Some of y'all are going to do your time, and you're going to get out." He says, "But remember this, wherever you go," he says, "the world needs Ranger doctors, and Ranger lawyers, and Ranger teachers." And what he meant was the world needs leaders. The world needs people to set an example for others to follow. That's why the Rangers' motto is Rangers lead the way. And as veterans, people look at us to lead the way. They look at us to set an example for others to follow. We don't get to carry M16s and M4s. We don't get to fly planes anymore. But we can still go out there and lead the way. There's a plaque that's on the wall of the Ranger Regiment, and it's on the walls of every single Special Operations unit out there. And it's from the Bible. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8. Isaiah 6:8 reads, "And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, 'Who will go for us? Whom shall we send?' And I answered, 'Here am I, Lord, send me.'" Yeah, that's who you are. Thank you for doing something that was honorable and noble. And you went and you put on the uniform and you were sent. But nowadays, what do? What can we do? We don't get to carry the weapons anymore, but you can still go out there and make a difference. You can still be sent on a day-to-day basis. Set an example for others to follow and make a difference. That comes with the title of being a veteran. And I could sit up here all day and talk to you guys. This is pretty fun. But I'm going to sing you a song instead, because what I could spend all day talking about, I can sum it up in 3.5 minutes in one song. So come on over here with me. Now, when you play on the Grand Ole Opry, for a country singer, that's a pretty big moment. And they give you 2 songs. You get to play your song that's your big hit, and then you'll play one other song. And for you guys, you know what a record is. See, there's this thing called a record they used to have in the old days, and you would flip it over, and there'd be a song on the other side. That was called a B-side. Well, this would be my B-side. When we go over on these USO tours, and we go out to these far-off, tiny little places in the mountains of Afghanistan, we can't bring a stage with us. We can't bring the cheerleaders. We can't bring the comedians. All I can fit is this guitar. And the song that I play for them is the same song that I will choose wherever I go to make sure that people hear this one. It's because it's the lesson that I learned when I had the privilege of wearing the uniform. And this is what it's about. Everybody here wants to make a difference. Every single one of you want to do something that matters. It's why you put on that uniform in the first place. It's why those folks over there that are fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan and all around the world for us, they don't have to worry about making a difference. That's why they're doing it. But how do we do it now? We don't get to wear the uniform. How do we make a difference? And I tell people it's an easy thing to do. All you got to do is lead. And it doesn't mean be in charge. It means set an example for others to follow. And most of the time when you are asked to do something, it's going to be difficult and it's going to be hard and you don't want that responsibility. But you got to step up and do the right thing, even when you would rather not. And that's what this song's about. It's just about 3 people stood up and did the right thing and set an example for others to follow. No one raised their hand that day when they asked for volunteers. He got picked out by default, was the only daddy there. We know what you're thinking, choose someone else instead. But this league was built on coaches, stood right there and said, not me, no, not me. Away with this job of mine, I could never find the time. Not me, no, not me. But the world becomes a better place when someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. The judge says you're the oldest, makes you the legal guardian. I'm sorry how you lost your folks, but there's no next of kin. Brother and a sister, she knew how hard that it would be, but she softly said, I'll raise them, while the voice inside her screamed, not me, no, not me. I can't believe what's happening. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Not me, no, no, not me. But this world becomes a better place. Someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. A young captain at attention, star pinned on his chest. He recalls the battle while the final roll calls are read. They were the finest soldiers, it was my privilege to lead. They deserve the medals, men who died. Not me, not me, no, not me. I just did what I was called to do. Do the same if it was you. Not me, Lord, no, not me. But this world becomes a better place. Someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. Yeah, yeah, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. Not me. God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Great job, Kenny.